Hi, welcome to Scorched Earth. This will be my home for the next 100 days, where I'm gonna attempt to survive the scorching heat and the dangers of a desert. And just to put a twist on it, this is hardcore. Meaning I've only got one life. If I die, the adventure ends. Couple announcements before I start. Please check out the f.u.n Discord. Lots of different streamers streaming lots of different games. You might just find something you enjoy. And then a special thanks to Zany Zebra, who brought for 100 days to Ark, and Luke the Notable, who started it all. Thanks guys. This is not my first 100 days playthrough, so links to the Volcano map and Ark Fjord pre-release, as well as the server settings, will be in the description. And on with it, for this 100 days I've set a couple of challenges for myself. One, I must tame all the tameable creatures from this DLC, and two, I must beat all 3 bosses. That's Gamma, Beta and Alpha. We'll call them Baby, Mommy and Daddy. Manticore. Ladies and gents, it takes a long time to make a playthrough like this, so please like if you enjoyed it, and a subscription would be appreciated. Since this is only the beginning of the story arcs, there definitely will be an aberration and an extinction. Then grab some refreshments and something to eat, and here we go! This was attempt 3, got a little bit too eager. What a way to die. I guess there's no good way to go.
This desert wasteland was a turning point for Helena and her allies. It was here that her fellow explorer Rockwell began his spiral into darkness. If only Helena could have seen the threat that was so close to her, where Rockwell's experiments would lead. There's danger lurking beneath these sands, survivor. Seek out this Ark's guardian and find your way to where I'm waiting for you.
Day 1, I started out scratching my arm, not on a beach like usually. And the sun was already scorching. Water. Nice, attempt 1 and 2 didn't go too well, as we died of heat stroke and dehydration. So we start by harvesting some fiber. Pick up stone and sand as we ran along. Sand was one of the new resources released with this DLC. There's a couple of them, I believe we'll get to all of it. Harvest wood from some bushes. Leveling up. Then I made my first tool, a pickaxe. After harvesting some flint, I had enough for an axe. Crafted some spears. Hunted our first dino for hide and meat to spoil. Sorry buddy. Next I harvested some thatch and wood. Made some thatch foundations and placed them. This will be my Tame base. Placed some storages just to get rid of some stuff that was weighing me down. Also placed a mortar and pestle. Made the first narcotics that should help with leveling as well. Learned bolas but was point short on learning bow. So it was back to the grind. Placed more storages. And I had a nice thatch hut up. This isn't good enough for Scorched Earth, but it will set my mind at ease and make me feel safe at least. As bloody hot as the day was here, the nights can get freezing cold. So I made my first set of armor. Hey, it's better than nothing. Next morning I was making clay, mostly for leveling. I survived the first day on Scorched Earth. Only 99 more to go. Also made more arrows. We will need it later. Need that level 20 for metal tools. So basically I'm gonna do anything to level up. Except for making foundations, another way of leveling up was narcotics. So I killed some of the wildlife, harvested their meat, and split it to spoil. Harvested some metal I found near my base. In between was working on narcotics for those precious levels. Knocked a jerboa. These guys are essential to this DLC. You guys will see why later. It tamed up while I was harvesting wood. Damn, these things are so cute. Made some large storages and placed it. Level 19 were reached and I learned billboards to trap a morella tops. With the next level up, I learned forge, smithy and metal tools. Made a forge and immediately started smelting metal. Then made and placed a smithy. After some more metal was smelted, I made a pickaxe and then a hatchet. Then I carried on with the narcotics for levels. Picked up silica pearls in a dry riverbed. More narcotics and clay. Clay I used to make adobe structures. But we'll still get to that. First storm hit, it was a heat wave, so we were relaxing in base. If we had a adobe base, the heat wouldn't have bothered us. But I took this time to make trank arrows and some bolas. Next morning after leveling, learned crossbow and I made 2. Always nice having a spare one. Had a visitor at base, 150 female raptor. So I quickly knocked her. Killed the parasaur, harvested it. Wasn't long after that and I had a new friend. Named her Gillette, and no, not after the razor blade. Although that would be a good name. No, remember the girl that sang the songs, Mr. Personality and Short Man. Her words cut deeper than any fangs, or in this case, claws could. Took her for a spin. That might be the wrong words to say, but hey, who wouldn't mind having a spin on a raptor? So now that I have a raptor, time to focus on some berries. Best I could find was a 114 tech parasaur. Should fix the berries problem, and it should also help us leveling up with narcotics. So I quickly knocked it. And tamed it. And call it transformer. Tech dinos always looked like something from a sci-fi movie. Raptor, even though I don't like it, really came in handy with fighting all the crap around base. And the parasaur with harvesting berries for narcotics. With the next heatwave I was just chilling inside the thatch base making narcotics. By now with all this making of narcotics I must sound like a drug addict. Oh, also learned desert gear, which should help with better protection against the weather. I could almost make the whole set, needed crystal for the headpiece. With a new armor equipped, headed out with a parasaur, found some metal and of course harvested it. Day 4. I found this 140 duty and started knocking it, trying my best to avoid its friends. Then a saber-tooth wanted to make friends. Gillette was close so we killed it. We finally knocked her before she could roll into a ball. While waiting for her to tame, got the parasaur and harvested more metal. Found a level 85 morella tops, built a trap around her. She seemed stuck, but I wasn't about to take any chances. Cleared the area of morella topses in case they wanted to surprise me. And when I knocked the morella tops, went out looking for metal. A Fawny and a saber-tooth had another idea. It didn't quite work out for them. Morella tops was tamed, I called it Maurice, and so was the Duty. Duty didn't have the best of levels, but that was fine. It's just way to harvest stone. Couldn't think of a good name for the Duty, so we just took it home. Harvested stone with the Duty around the base. It sucks that the Duty didn't get any weight reduction on sand. Rest of the day was harvesting sap with the morella tops, and ended up making clay and narcotics. Day 5 I made a tent. It was time to go and get some crystal. So I grabbed the morella tops and we made our way to the Black Mountains. Finally made it to the mountains, but it was a very unpleasant place. Saber-tooths, RGs, Fawny dragons, Carnos, scorpions, And rock elementals are just some of the inhabitants of the Black Mountains. It was way out of our league, but the crystal was so pressing. Finally made it to the crystal and I was so relieved. I harvested as much as we could carry. At base I made a spyglass. And the final piece of a desert armor, the helmet headpiece. And we were ready to go clubbing. Made a cooking pot and some water skins. Then dyed our clothes. Looked much better, but we can do with a shave. Knocked a level 55 Fawny. Found a level 95 Anki close to base and tranked it. Rest of the night, like previous nights, we spent making narcotics for levels. Also had a lot of meat that I was waiting for to spoil. Day 6 Fawny was tamed. This thing had no HP. Equipped saddle with Scorched Earth skin and took him home. Went out exploring a bit and found an explorer note. Picked up some metal on our way back to base. Anki was tamed and I took it back to base. It was time to get an RG, so I started working on an RG trap. I was disappointed in the Fawny. He was supposed to be great at harvesting wood, but it couldn't harvest the cacti trees, or the wooden bushes, or cacti even self. Day 7 was mostly spent around base. I made 20 gateways, and some gates, a preserving bin, a smithy, a forge, cured up some cementing paste. When cementing paste was done, made a fabricator, 2 campfires, 2 mortar and pestles, a cooking pot, and a table for when we find a more permanent location. Repaired the crossbows, grabbed the RG trap, some extra narcotics, and once again the Morella Tops and myself were off to the Black Mountains. In case you don't know it, the levels on Scorched Earth are as bad as all the official DLC. Maurice has already lost half his HP. We were surviving but not having fun. Finally found a decent RG, but it was more to the desert side. Got the RG trapped and knocked it. Killed the penis horse for prime. RG was tamed, didn't bother with a name. And the 3 of us headed home. Damn, I need cryopods. Repairing my armor at base, it gave me the level to learn RG saddle. Yay, and we were airborne. Immediately went to harvest obsidian. Back at base I made scissors and I could finally get my Viking haircut. And of course my kinda weapon X, mutton chops. Next day I headed out looking for a permanent base location. I checked out Green Obi, but we were only 20% wind and I wanted somewhere where I can use turbines. Back at base I learned the dope structures and immediately started making some foundations. Also crafted some bookshelves and 10 large storages. We made our way to Red Obi, checking the wind every once in a while. Red Obi had only 40% wind, that wasn't gonna help either. Blue also 40% and already one big tenant there. Back when Bubbles was playing on official, her base was in this location. I guess it's as good a spot as any. Ferried the duty up to clear the stones. We placed our first foundations.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me. Turn it up a few degrees.
Ferried our creatures up.
Oh gosh, she's such a tease. Bitten lips, bruised knees.
And then got back to building.
Little waste, and we tearing down this place off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her.
I left the hole open for some greenhouse ceilings. Destroyed for old base, everything except for the feeding trough. There was meat in it that can spoil for narcotics. Placed some of the essentials. Started cooking some meat. Now that I had the forges down, time to do a metal run. It was a decent amount, so I was happy. Nearly forgot to place the fabricator. My 2 behemoth gateways and 1 gate. Finished harvesting resources for the second gate. When Scorched Earth got some rain. Cleared the area behind base. Started placing fortifications, since behind the base Phylas and Rexes spawn. Day 13 a lightning storm hit, but I carried on with building. Did take a break to tame a level 85 Listro. Every time you pet him, he gives XP to all the creatures in the area, so who knows, maybe he'll come in handy. While picking up a drop, harvested some raw salt, another new resource to this DLC. Salt and sulfur makes preserving salt, and preserving salt are used in a preserving bin to keep things fresher for longer. But I doubt we'll be using any on all raids. Then it was back to reinforcing the base. For now I was done with it. Maybe later in a playthrough there will be time to do a better job, but I was happy with this and it will keep the creatures safe. Did a metal run with an Anki and RG. Another sandstorm, but it was okay, I had more than enough to do in base. I needed to get to level 70 to pick up red drops. Picked up an explorer note that gives quadruple XP or something, so we went to kill Rexes behind base. It was time to start working on the Rex traps, even though I was far from learning the saddle BP. Made some long neck rifles. Next was gunpowder for simple bullets. Simple bullets and narcotics are used for trank darts, and were a lot more potent than just trank arrows. Next I wanted some cryopods, so I harvested some crystal, killed some mantis for organic polymer, dinos for oil, the rest of the resources I had. On my way to Blue Obi to make cryopods, I picked up my first red drop. It wasn't good. I kinda forgot that you can make cryopods in drops, so we flew all the way to Blue. After a very rude interruption, I finished with the cryopods and we headed home. For now I am only made 10, I can always come and make more if I need them. It was time to go and look for Rexes, so I grabbed the gates and the bear traps. The tent, it will help in case we get caught in a storm. We headed to Rex Triangle, the most likely place to find Rexes. I added the Rex counter so you can see how long it took to get a decent Rex. So let the counter start. We counted this one even though it was a ticked one. Spotted the 140 Rex through the trees. Wasn't exactly what I wanted. Quickly set up a trap for it. Locked it in. Tranked it.
You know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got.
Rex finally went down. Killed some of its brethren for Prime. Finally got a name for the Jerboa. Every time a Rex growls, he craps. Fitting name. Storm warning, and I had our tent out near Tame. Early morning of day 16, a Rex was tamed, and I cryoed it. One of the drops had an oil well in, so I placed it behind base, made an industrial grill, broke our campfires and placed the grill, and cooked some meat. Uncryoed Rex took a look at its stats. Melee was terrible. Renamed it Male 1, it was for breeding. Headed back out to look for Rexes. Let the counter continue, we still haven't found our pair. Digging meant get underground, heatwave incoming. Was still hard busy killing Rexes when we spot the Phoenix. Level didn't matter, I wanted him. Killed the Rex to make it an even 50, then headed home to start working on a trap. The clay and gunpowder we had need propellant. That's sulfur and oil. Oil pump was working very slowly. Sap in preserving bin, and we were making propellant. Started making oil jars from a BP we picked up earlier. As another storm warning came in, the parasol sonar showed us something. Damn, a sandstorm. Day 18, sandstorm passed, and I set up our trap. It's Steve's trap from Nooblitz. I've used this trap on official servers and it works beautifully. If it will work on single player, I don't know. Let's wait for the next heatwave and find out. Went for another metal run while we were around base. Made sure all the forges were running. Time to get back to the Rexes. Stop to tame a low level dung beetle. We'll need it once I start with the gardens. For now it can just live in cryo. And we were back to looking for Rexes. That level up meant I could now learn Rex saddles. Finally found the max level Rex and got our trap down, locked it in and knocked it. While the male Rex were taming, we headed out looking for a female Rex. Back at the trap, a Rex was tamed, so we cryoed it and carried on looking for the elusive female Rex.
They say the devil made it for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. She got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, got some egos to the face. Baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make.
A sandstorm caught us, but we were close to base. I was on day 20 and it didn't feel like I'm any closer to that female Rex. So it's time to change it up a bit. Let's see if we have more luck with RGs. It's times like these where I miss having a Wyvern. Levels were really bad, and by nightfall I haven't seen anything that's close to a breedable level. Day 21 and where she was. Only problem is it was close to the pits. And lots of wyverns outside of the pits. And since hibernation mode is on, this wasn't gonna be easy. Set up the trap far away from the pits, but not so far that it will take us hours to kite her closer. Got her attention and started kiting her. A couple of minutes later she was in the trap being knocked. Was attacked by a saber-tooth but sorted it quickly. She was showing blood, so I fed her with saber-tooth so she can heal up. After she was tamed, I cryoed her. On our way to base, harvested some crystal. Later went for a yellow drop and of course, our armor. So after fixing our armor, bred the RGs. Next morning made a sickle and harvested fiber. I was running out of storage space, so I stored the extra fiber in a parasaur. Then I made a vault, so that should solve our storage problem for now. Bowlat knocked and tamed a female tech parasaur. I was hoping that later I would get time to try something like a metal farm using tech dinos. After renaming her, mated her with a male. Tamed another female tech parasaur, named her female metal farm 2. Took it home and also mated it. And now I was back on the counter looking for that female Rex. Wasn't long and I found the 145 female. Morning of day 23 I put a trap down for her. Locked the Kana in. Luck was on our side, we knocked her just as a lightning storm hit. In electric storms nothing worked. I think that includes the long neck. I'm not sure about crossbows though. She was tamed, I named her Dam, as in dam and sire, similar to mother and father in human terms. Cryoed her and headed home. Sweet, the RGs could breed again. Mated with Rexes. Then I started working on a hatchery. I had an idea what I wanted to do, so let's see what we end up with. Picked up a red drop that had a Ascendant Rock Elemental saddle in. Might come in handy later. Placed another oil well. Then I took the Anki out for a metal run. Gonna need a lot of metal for aircons. Made a generator. Then some cables. Placed the generator at the back of the base. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I was still working it out cause building is not my strongest suit. Made 2 refrigerators and placed them. Closed up the generator. Made 20 aircons. Placed them. And I dropped some eggs to see if it will hatch. Nice. Then I placed 2 feeding troughs at the hatchery. Placed the dung beetle in a cage, filled it with poo and enabled wandering, and in time it will give us fertilizer for gardens and a little bit of oil. Rest of the night while waiting for the eggs to hatch, I made spark powder for gunpowder. First RGs were born. These were just to test the maturation rates. Then we hunted some prime and started making jerky for imprints. Rest of the day was spent raising babies and playing with the maturation and imprinting settings. Day 26 after morning imprints did a metal run. When I worked on some more gunpowder, I don't know why a Rex would ask for a berry, but okay. The last couple of days was mostly spent raising babies, so I was bored. And I started thinking about getting a wyvern. So after I bred for RGs, headed out to the desert to kill some mantis for organic polymer. Made some advanced rifle bullets for turrets. Then I spent the rest of the night picking up drops. Morning of day 28 I couldn't do much because of a lightning storm. So I farmed more drops. Got a good long neck rifle that should come in handy. It was time, so I cryoed the babies. And headed out with everything I thought we're gonna need. Found where I wanted to set up the turrets. It was close enough to the pits that the RG didn't have to fly too far. With a little bit of luck, we might even pull this off. After the turrets were done, we tested it. I'll have to build a shelter around the generator. Damn, that Wyvern didn't even put any effort in it. He just destroyed everything. Went home very disappointed, but we learned something. After making a new generator and some structures to cover it up with, made some simple bullets. I have a scope somewhere here that I can also equip, then I can snipe them from a distance, if it comes down to it. Next morning I was back at the turrets, but I messed up again. The generator was sitting too far back, so I couldn't close it up. And, well, it was too late to pick it up. I felt so stupid when I was editing it. I thought to myself on it, why didn't I just use stone to cover it up? It worked perfectly against the poison that buggered us around earlier. 140 fire egg. Hell yeah, I'll take that. Now to get out of here. Turrets did their magic. So much prime, so little time. Hey, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. I've raised a lot of wyverns before, but somehow this egg just got me so excited. And created some more babies. Nice RG with an HP mutation. Twin Rexes, nice. Wyvern was born, named him Ember Spirit. This was turning out to be an awesome day. Then headed out for a metal run. Got attacked by a Trudon and had a little nap. But it was fine. Nothing can spoil all day. Morning of day 30, did some imprints. Then went and killed some low level Phylas and Daedons. A Daedon would be nice for healing, even though we can force feed, so it wasn't that urgent. Phylas was more pressing. Day 50 was approaching, that meant baby Manticore, and Phylas will make getting the artifacts much easier. Went to base, did some more imprints, and headed out to kill some more Daedons and Phylas. Damn, I am so lucky they are so easily distracted. Bred more RGs as more of the females mature. Then I took an RG out to level up. Picked up an apprentice RG saddle, BP in a red drop. Morning of day 32 was doing imprints on confused Rexes. Extended the base a bit. I still needed the industrial forge and an industrial grinder. Plus, I wanted a garden. Put down crop plots and started our gardens. Didn't have water at the base yet, so water from the well worked. Then I headed out to kill some more Phylas. In the process got attacked by some vultures that broke our armor, of course. After fixing the armor, started working on the new RG saddles. Finally a heatwave. But I was so disappointed, there was no phoenix, nothing in sight. Did an imprint on the wyvern. It was 75% imprinted. We're not gonna get all our imprints in. Still disappointed with the heat wave and the phoenix and the imprint on the wyvern. I set out to look for a Phyla. Didn't find anything, so I returned to base. Well, correction, found a lot. just not the ones we were looking for.
Then bred the best female and male.
Ember's spirit was mature, so I went to pick up drops with him. So much faster, so much better. Damn, I love Wavens. Getting Phyla should also go much faster now. Day 34, chucked out some RGX. This should keep us busy for a while.
Then we went looking for Phylas. Found a 125 Phyla, it's the highest level so far. Didn't kill her, if we can find a good male to breed with her, she might be worth it. Was so busy with the Phylas that I forgot about the RGs. Had to break foundations to get to them, and one had already died. And by the end of the day there were so many babies around.
Picked up another red drop, more garbage. At least most of his stuff can be ground down. And finally a high level Phyla. I don't even want to know how many Phylas I killed for this one to spawn in. Back at base, picking up cooked meat and narcotics for the Phyla. I forgot things decay on this server. Quickly replaced it, added gas and started it. I added the cooked meat to the prime he already had on him, cause I wasn't sure which one he would prefer. Then I went and knocked the 125 female.
Damn, these things loved drugs. At base claimed some more babies. Male Phyla was tamed, so I took it back to base. Later the female was tamed. At home put a saddle on her and mated them. Renamed Phylas. Phylas were common to Australia, so we renamed them after some Australian deserts. Tiari and Tame. Sorry if I mispronounce it.
The rest of the day, I chillaxed mostly, raising babies and sorting storages.
Picking up an occasional yellow or red drop and doing a lot of imprints.
Didn't have that, so I cryoed it.
And that's how most of day 36 played out.
And when a Phyla baby was born, named the little Sandy, after another Australian desert.
Stats, especially HP, was very good. Also had a lot of RG saddles ready for the babies as they mature.
No heat wave and no phoenix, so I broke down the trap. We'll see what happens in the next heat wave.
Day 37 and little Sandy got her first imprint. Then I cried the Anki, grabbed a new mature RG to level and headed out to get some crystal.
Need a lot of crystal for the industrial grinder. Might even go for a chem bench first, it will definitely up the quality of life. We'll see what we get to. With Ark the grind never stops.
Back at base I was making spark powder for gunpowder.
Sandy wanted the imprint, but because of the electric storm I couldn't cryo her. At least we still have some time.
While waiting for the electric storm to finish, I just stood there admiring the weather.
It looked so beautiful and yet so dangerous. And there we go, her final imprint.
Morning of day 38 and we were harvesting what I hoped was the final of a crystal. We had enough crystal, but oil was going to be a problem, since it only pumps oil when we're online.
We'll have to make another plan.
Metal farm with a waste with a PvE enabled. It didn't look any better by claiming and killing them. Moving on, we went looking for a megatherium. They were beasts at harvesting fiber, and there were no bears on Scorched Earth. Levels were bad on them as well, but we finally found this level 50.
She had a 140 rock elemental as a bodyguard. Who knows, we may even come back for it.
Knocked her.
Megatheriums or sloths are omnivores, so we could have fed her berries, but it will just go much faster with Prime. While waiting for her to tame up, got attacked by an enraged one. Luckily didn't do too much damage. It's so much more comfortable with a wave, and now we can just grab them and carry them home. After harvesting fiber, worked on RG saddles.
Picked up a nice expensive Ascendant pump action BP. Metal farm failed, we were nyomming them but no resources. Maybe if we let them mature, unclaim them, then eat them.
But for now, I think I was done with it. Took RGs out to have some fun, or level up, whichever one you choose.
Damn, this was chaotic.
And that's about all we did for the rest of the day. Early morning did the metal run, back at base, made cementing paste, harvested stone with duty, repaired the generator, made more CP but I can't remember why or for what, filled Maurice with wood for the forges, leveled up, was level 80 now and I learned industrial forge. Going out to kill tech dinos for oil, we found a stray fire wyvern and killed it, and carried on searching for tech dinos. Took the RGs to the desert, told them it was to have some fun, it was actually for them to level up. Although they did have some fun, they even got to kill a f.u.n. and another, even a poison wyvern, and it was at this stage that I knew we had to take them to the pits. I was dying of the heat, so I went back to base to pick up a tent. Sandstorm incoming. Started getting everything ready for the grinder. Polymer was gonna be a problem because the fabricator can't take that much organic. Made some more CP for hard poly. And now I knew why I was making CP earlier. Went out harvesting obsidian. Made more hard poly back at base. Finally made a grinder as the storm were about to hit. After sandstorm, extended the base a bit, placed a grinder, and grind down our first bunch of useless stuff. Day 43, another heatwave, and the Phoenix was back to buggering us around a bit more. This was really a big mess. I wanted the Phoenix, but the RGs required so much work, and day 50 is closing in fast. Made some parachutes, cryoed ember just for in case, and I was off to level up the RGs. Killed another poison wyvern. Getting these RGs to the pits was definitely the way to go. I already had heat stroke when we ran into the next grub. Killed the lightning wyvern. Well, the army did. We had to land for stamina. These RGs had no points pumped into stamina, only melee and HP. The desert got some rain, and I was freezing my butt off as I picked up the first desert drop. Close to death, I finally set up camp for the night. The insulation of a tent should help. And we were back at it early the next morning. Whoops, seems like the game crashed. Ah yes, there we go. So here we go again, day 44. This time we headed straight into the pits.
But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.
That was fun. All fun things must come to an end. Damn, now I sound like my woman. Some of the RGs were showing blood, so it was time to head back home. Time to get the artifacts. So I made some grappling hooks,
Cryoed little Sandy, and headed out for some spelunking while the RGs have a well-deserved rest. First cave was Ruins of Gnostic. Figured if we get the difficult cave out of the way, the other two should be a breeze. Uncryoed little Sandy and we were on our way. Equipped grappling and stripped down cause there was alpha pleuras in this cave. The cave in the beginning was mostly empty, which was strange since hibernation mode was on. Didn't trust ourselves with his jump, so cryoed the Phyla and grappled over. Falling here was instant death and an end to our adventure. With the Phyla and cryoed, we moved on. Ran into a rubble golem, it was no match for the fight. The bleed damage was too much. And those zeros of a Jerboa helping.
And we had our first artifact of a destroyer. And of course everything that should have been in here when we came in, did spawn in now.
Phyla did take a lot of damage in the end, but hey, we got our first artifact, and luckily on Scorched there is only 3. Back at base, force fed for Phyla. Kind of angry with myself. In the cave when I cryoed for Phyla, I didn't check its back. So we lost all our armor.
But it was only primitive armor, so it's not that bad.
Our next cave was Grave of a Tyrant, the easiest cave of the 3. The sleeping beauties were up. If I were on foot, it would have forwarded me. But on a Phyla, nah.
After waiting for a short while, picked up our second artifact of a crack. Day 46 was spent mostly building a new phoenix trap. I know it's big, ugly, and it looks like a box. But the sonar of a parasaur light up 4 different spots on this rock, so I'm hoping that one at least is a phoenix. Plus little Sandy needed the break.
This cave was called Cave of the Old Tunnels. Yeah, it was a very straightforward cave. Except for the one place where the Phyla couldn't fit through, where I had to cryo and uncryo her.
Cool, and now we have our final artifact of a gatekeeper. Found Thanos' gauntlet. Someone's getting copyrighted. Picked up our first cave drop. It wasn't good at all.
Ran into a rubble golem on our way out. Once again the Jerboa tried to help. I must remember to put this little guy on passive. Anyway, chewed through the rubble golem like a Phyla chews through a rubble golem? I don't know. Day 47, cryoed to Wyvern. In case there is a heat wave, it'll get us back much faster than an RG wall. Grabbed the RG army, and this time they knew what I meant when I said we're gonna have some fun.
Once again we were back in the pits. Killing Wyvern sounds so bad, so let's just call it leveling up. That's pretty much how the rest of the day went. I was pushing the RGs really hard. Next morning I saw an alpha and I uncryoed Ember. Killed the alpha and that gave us a nice Wyvern trophy for our base. After killing another couple of Wyverns, Ember didn't look too well, so I cryoed it.
Also we now at 18 RGs, not 19 anymore. Don't know where the one was lost.
Well, I guess we can be heading home.
Gave Shites a nice little safari hat. Damn cute little thing.
Day 49 I was sorting the last RG. Made some scuba for the boss fight since it does a lot of trank damage. Then I quickly made in place a chemistry bench.
Then some stimulants. Made some extra bullets for the long neck.
And we were about ready to head down to Green Obi. I didn't give the RGs much of a speech, except that if we fail, we're dead and the adventure is over. Come on you lot, follow me. And attack him. I was happy with the amount of damage they were doing. Baba was halfway and I couldn't see any damage on the RGs. Took a break, because I felt like a girl with all the balls hitting my face. One RG down and a bunch of rock elementals. Stop with the ringer rosies and kill it already. And it was done. Baby Manticore out of the way. That was a good boss fight. One RG got knocked out, waiting for it to wake up and create a storm warning. But we won. We made it just in time as a sandstorm hit. After the sandstorm, it was time to breed some Rexes. Then did the metal run. Seems like the Easter event was in full swing as we picked up our first Easter eggs. Claimed baby Rexes to see which ones we're keeping. Then added more extensions to the Phoenix trap. Time to get rid of all the bad baby Rexes. Next morning, decorated our base with the skulls of our enemies. Man, that sounds bad. Claimed some more Rex babies. First mutation. Knocked out the pink and greenish Jerboa. Wow, the colors on this one was striking. Added extensions to the Phoenix trap. This was a lot of work. And then I spent the rest of the night picking up drops. Didn't get anything noteworthy. Morning of day 52. I claimed more Rex babies, went meat farming with Phyla. It was so much fun just running around slaughtering everything. Kronos the Butcher. Got caught in a sandstorm going after a red drop that wasn't even worth it. Even managed some imprints in the sandstorm. Tired of grinding resources at the base, went to the desert to look for loot drops. Found only one. Finally a heat wave, but no Phoenix, and I wasn't sure what I'm gonna do here. This really felt like a waste of time. Day 53 after morning imprints, went to break down the trap, but there was still 3 things that the Parasaur sonar picked up, so I decided to wait. Didn't do much for the rest of the day except raising babies and imprints. Made a cannon and some cannonballs. And more cannonballs for when we are gonna tame a rock elemental. Also made some metal double door frames for the trap. Morning of day 54 we went looking for that 140 rock elemental. I just wanted to make sure he is still there. He wasn't very happy that we interrupted his nap. Then I went and made 10 more cryopods at Green Obi. Cryoed some of the Rexes so they can get passive XP. I messed up badly with the Rexes. Only one of the females didn't have a mutation. We just made ourselves a lot of work. I wanted to make an industrial forge next, so the grind started. Kept me busy the rest of the day carrying metal from forges and grinder to the fabricator. Making CP on the chem bench. Always gonna be a problem. Guess it's time to hunt tech dinos. Day 55 was still hunting tech dinos. Unlike other servers, here weren't tech quetzals or tech stegos. Also no ice with oil rocks and no trilobites, so it was one hell of a grind. Took a break to pick up some Easter eggs, fed one to Ember, and damn, it looked good. And then we went back to oil harvesting. Desperate times calls for desperate measurements, as I had to molest bugs until they released their oil for me. But we finally had enough to make the forge. Took some time off to tame an equus with carrots. Carrots, I used to like carrots. My sisters loved it. Made the food taste funny. Rest of the day was spent raising babies and doing imprints. Day 56, the trap was down and the rock elemental was having the time of his life. It was a final cannonball. If we miss it, we might just kill him, and boom, he went to sleep. I started taming it with sulfur, didn't really care about the level, and we had more than enough narcotics. Then it was back to sorting Rexes and another lightning storm hit. After the lightning storm did the metal run. The metal was for when we pick up the Rex saddle BP. Picked up the MC BP for pump action, and it was better than the Ascendant of earlier. Lol. Rock Elemental was still here, it was just a little bit invisible. Well, what can you say, the game has been in early access for the last 8 years. Placed another oil well. If we can get a couple more down, oil production should pick up. Another bad Rex baby, so sorry. Bred the female Rexes without the mutations. Rock Elemental was tamed. I wanted to walk him home, so I picked up a saddle at base, cried for RG, and we were on our way back to base. Rock Elementals are so much fun, and we are awesome to build with since we can harvest almost any resource. The only bad thing is they only get weight reduction on stone, so it's best if you level it up on weight. And similar to Gigas, you can't take a wild Rock Elemental on with a tamed Rock Elemental. I can't remember the storyline of Scorched Earth, but damn, look at that skull. This thing is even bigger than the Titans of Extinction. Anyway, let's move on to the mountains. We need a UT. This was a crazy time. I couldn't put a trap down because of all the bad things that wanted to eat our face. So first the UT got stuck in a rock, and I've got a decent amount of tranks in it. Then it got unstuck and I ran all over. Then it got stuck in a wyvern and I finally knocked it. Day 58, UT was tamed, so I cryoed it and we headed home. I think the UT can stay in cryo to get some extra levels. Picked up some drops, but nothing good. And then the Easter Bunnyman was born. Even learned bunny hop dance, I had to try it. Was so much fun, even the RG wanted to join in. Had some bad Rex babies, so we went off to Baby Rex Heaven. Spent the rest of the day picking up drops, hoping for that Rex saddle BP. I wanted that shotgun, so I was hunting for organic polymer. Then we headed back to base to make a shotgun. I took a break from the grind and raising babies, so I went around the server looking for any unique creatures to Scorched Earth that I could tame. I think a pink vulture is pretty unique. Named her Bubbles, cause Bubbles love pink. Level 5 moth. That's a bit too low. Bingo, level 50 will do. Ballowed it, dranked it. It took a while, but it was finally tamed. The rest of the day was mostly spent drop hunting and sorting around base. Day 60 I was harvesting stone with a rock elemental. Felt much faster and it was a lot more fun. Sorry roly-poly. Renamed rock elemental Tiny. Picked up some more drops. Ascendant flamethrower. That'll be perfect for the Phoenix Tame, if it finally stops trolling us. Was still making ammo for the flamethrower when the Jerboas started crying. Yep, they were digging. Heatwave get underground. Heatwave started. Wow, from one Phoenix to no Phoenix, to one Phoenix, to no Phoenix, to no Phoenix, to 2 Phoenix. It's okay, I only wanted 1. There was stages where I could see the taming bar. This took so long, even on the times 5. Finally it was tamed. With the Phoenix cryoed, headed back to base, and even before I got to base, the heatwave was over. Oh, I love this. It's too bad they're so squishy. With the Phoenix out of the way, I could finally make the flamethrower ammo, and I went to test it out. Yeah, it was kinda disappointing. I know it's useful for PvP. Day 61. Built a kind of a gazebo over the hatchery for water reservoirs. When I got some Rexes ready to take to the desert to level up. Cryoed the Phoenix in case something happens at base and I'm not here. In the desert I tried to find as many death worms as possible, but I was just as happy keeping the local population down.
After another couple of death worms, we were ready to call it a day. After sorting Rexes, decided to do an artifact run to also give the Rexes a break to heal up. Then I loaded all the artifacts and tributes onto the Obi, and we were about ready for Beta Manticore, the big bad mommy Manticore. Did another decent metal run. Back at base, after clearing the forges, I broke them down. Then placed our industrial forge. Started getting the next group of Rexes ready to go to the desert. Okay, it's been over a year since I last worked on this playthrough. A lot of things happened and I just had to put it down for a bit. Since Easter was long since gone, packed away the suit, and I'm ready to finish this. So let's get on with this. This will make a nice addition to the family. In the desert, leveling the Rexes, found a beautiful 110 mantis. It wasn't long and we had a new friend. With the personal mission of taming all the creatures from this DLC out of the way, we can now focus on surviving the family of Manticore. And ended the day picking up drops. Then it was back to leveling Rexes. Found another desert drop, more useless stuff. First death worm in nearly 2 in-game days. What the hell is going on? Ah, another one. And a couple more. Day 67 was back at picking up drops. Finally picked up a apprentice saddle BP. 39.9 armor. Should be ramshackle, but it's still better than nothing. So I went on a metal run. This was a decent metal run. After offloading, headed out for another metal run. When I started picking up drops again, was still hoping for a better Rex saddle for Alpha Manticore. Then I went on a crystal run, also harvested some obsidian, wasn't sure if we're gonna use it later or not, might as well get it while we're here. More drops, and a lot more things to grind down. Finally uncryed the mantis and equipped the saddle. Had time to pick up some drops while I was figuring out what I'm gonna do next. Yes, I know I'm a lootaholic. Then I made some greenhouse ceilings and finally finished the base. Now we can just improve on it. Placed pipes and then water reservoirs. The great thing about water reservoirs is they will fill up over time. They don't need access to water. And magic! We have running water. Grabbed an RG and took a group of Rexes to our Obi. Found a Rex from a previous leveling session that was stuck. Strange how we can almost climb a mountain, but we get stuck on a rock. What can you say, early access games. Well, I got him loose and now he wants to run, so let's hope he runs home. Got the first group of Rexes near a feeding trough. I can just stand around here and heal up. Cool, he's nearly at base. Then I took the rest of the Rexes to our Obi. Then I took a group of Rexes I weren't happy with to level up. I'm planning on doing Mama Manticore on day 75, so we have more than enough time. Parked them near the pits, and I headed in to pick up the first egg I saw. Day 71 was doing much the same. Killed some death worms on our way home. Day 72, time for an industrial cooker. Great, oil is gonna be a problem again. So I guess it's stick dinos and oil box.
And we had an industrial cooker. Nice, nothing wrong with the water pipes. Harvested rare flowers and some rare mushrooms with Maurice around Green Obi. For the mind wipe tonic I needed narcotics and stimulants. So most of day 73 was spent grinding on the chemistry bench. Day 74. I finally remembered to uncryo the UT. Then I parked some RGs in a row and loaded resources on for the Rex saddles. Made the mind wipe tonic. And then I made the Rex saddles, which basically took the rest of the day. But the saddles weren't looking too bad. Ended the night picking up some drops. Day 75, after making another mind wipe tonic, got our stats back. I can't believe had so much narcotics in the beginning of the game, and we've ran out of narcotics. So after making some more narcotics, made some health brews, and I guess we are ready for Mama Manticore. After clearing the Obi, was kind of serenading the Rexes, but they thought I did a crappy job. And all I was singing was, "We are the mighty dinosaur, hear us roar." But okay. Rexes were ready, so I cryoed with Jaboa. And here we go. The fight went pretty smooth. The buff of a UT is awesome. Into rock elementals, and I didn't bother with controlling the Rexes since we have all the time in the world. Mama Manticore defeated. The UT took quite a beating, but the Rexes seemed fine. I wanted to say I sent her back to the kitchen, but her head is going above her door. After a quick ascension and another short intro, we were ready for Papa Manticore now. Luckily where we spawned in the desert, it was close enough to our base. Okay, so some of the Rexes did take a beating. This one was beaten into the floor, and I added the Manticore cosmetics and painted it, and we looked really good. And another head trophy for our base. Cryoed little Sandy and went on an artifact run. Damn, that was so close to the interval adventure. How many thorny dragons, mantis and lemantria saddles have I picked up in this adventure? When I loaded everything onto the Obi, still need a couple of talons, and I think we can go and do that now. Why wait? So I took another group of Rexes that I was kind of not happy with, and we headed to the desert, and the pits of course. Did pretty much the same as before. Grab an egg and just kite the Wyverns out to the Rexes. Even though Rexes were some of the strongest creatures in the game, they definitely weren't the smartest. These two fell down into the pits and wanted to have a lava bath. Well, it's a little too late. Did get to kill another alpha. Day 79. We had all the talents we need. I guess it's time to go home. At base, I chucked out the 2 Wyvern eggs for 125 lightning and 185 fire. I doubt I'm even gonna have time to use it. Neither one of the 2 were eventals, so I'm very disappointed. Since it's October, I tried to activate the Halloween event, and nothing, it's deactivated by wildcard, like they paid for my game. Anyway, I think it's lame, but it's not the first time they're screwing us over. But I still have a couple of things I can do around base. And if need be, I'll just go AFK for a couple of days. Damn, this thing's awesome. It's no wonder so many people become chainsaw killers.
Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay.
Fins have been upgraded.
Why you never said you felt that way? Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Let's look for something else to do.
I need help, I'm going through hell. I fake like I'm fine, but I know you can't tell. Like nothing I felt, my mind overwhelms. I think that I'm broken, but I hope you can't help. I know I'm not perfect, but some days I feel far more worthless. Baby, you make me feel nervous. If I still have you, I have purpose. It's all worth it.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that.
Went AFK a bit,
Cause you're trying to stay strong
but the building is coming along. Damn, I suck at building.
but I've known you too long. It hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away. I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
Day 99. I think for a final boss fight we can make a gas mask. Need some mixed resources for absorbent substract, like sap and oil. Had more than enough black pearls that we picked up from death worms. Our organic polymer was off that we stored in the parasaur, so quickly killed some mantis in the desert and made 2 gas masks. I wasn't sure what I did with the health brews, but it wasn't in the fridges. Harvested berries with a megatherium, and I made narcotics, and then I made health brews. Seems like 33 is all we're gonna have. Since we've run out of water, should be enough. Day 100. I made it. As I gathered my equipment for the final boss fight. Said my goodbyes. Thinking back on the journey, 100 days on Scorched Earth might be a tipsy too long, considering I was planning on doing the Halloween event and it was cancelled. But it was still fun and I still enjoyed it. So before I love and leave you, bear with me a couple of minutes more. Something that happened. It's Ark, something always happens. And summoned the boss. Had my gas mask on. There was no final speech to the Rexes. I forgot to whistle attack my target again. Had the Rexes on passive while I loaded them onto the OB, so that they do not run off or chase after anything. We were doing awesome. The Rexes were chewing the Manticore up. And when this happened. Seems like your head isn't strong enough, son. So here we go again, guys. Got the Rexes onto a Obi. Said my goodbyes to my dear old friend with your boa. Shites on my shoulder. Whistled attack this time. And summon the Manticore. It took me more than a year to make this playthrough, so see you soon in Aberration. So now I'm gonna love and leave you. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and as always, have fun. Hello? Hello?